Todd, how pleased are you that you got this type of performance tonight? Coming off winning your season opener is always an emotional thing, a big thing, but there didn't seem to be too much letdown in Game 2.
Some mixed feelings about the game, because I think there were times where they were faster than us. I think in the second period, really liked the start of the game. I thought the energy was good. We did things in the game that, at least at the start, that will allow us to have success. And they're a very good hockey team. And they force you into some situations. I like the way that we stuck with it, but there's areas we got to get better. Again, we play faster. I think our shift length was too long. I think we got outchanged in the game, which they were. They seem to have fresh legs. I think at times when we look tired and playing in our own zone. But we found a way to win the game. It's a credit to the players. Stuck with it. I like how the guys stuck up for each other when the game got a little physical, a little chippy at different stages, and that's what you're looking for.
The guys seemed to answer the pushback that New York had, especially in the second period, not easily, but without a lot of effort. It didn't seem to phase them. They weren't scrambling when New York was pushing back. Did you see that from your vantage point?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Even though we spend time in our own zone, and that's one thing that we've talked about, just getting organized in our own zone. And again, it gets down to the structure part that I've talked to you guys about early on this year, about how we want to play all over the ice. And defensively, we might have spent some time in our own zone, but positionally we're pretty good. Some block shots that you need. Bob made some big saves, but it wasn't a mad scramble in our own zone. And that's, again, what we're trying to get better at.
Todd, you back here in the back, you talked about speed this morning being a concern. How do you feel like you dealt with the Rangers' speed? It looked like you dictated pace for a large portion of the game.
I think there are different stretches. I think at times they were, and some of it was dictated maybe a little bit by the score, that they can play that stretch game and that fast game by getting it up the ice quick. And their D were very active. Again, if you're behind, you're chasing, so you're going to force the issue a little bit. I thought the first period, the way that we played, I thought we were at least the first maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes of the game. That predictable game, that Blue Jacket game of getting it in deep, getting it below the goal line and winning battles and moving your feet and trying to grind teams down. I think the penalties kind of got us out of that rhythm. We had a couple power plays, they had one, and then I think it got us away from that style of play, and then they started to play a little bit better, and we spent more time in our own zone.
How much are you enjoying the play of that top line? That was probably a combination that you really didn't have in mind, say, even a week ago.
Well, let me ask you, who's our top line?
Well, the Johansson line,
okay.
Let's put it that way.
And I'm not trying to poke fun at you. It's just, for me, to me, there's different nights where I looked at Anisimov's line tonight, and I used them most of the shifts tonight against, St. Louis and Nash. And so I think it's all depends on how you look at it, your top line. But Joey had some good moments. And Cam, again, looks quick and fast. And Nick Foligno does some things that not a lot of guys can do. He uses his size, his quickness, and he's elusive, and he's handled the way he handles the puck, and he's able to make plays down low. So they had their moments, where they were good and they made plays in the offensive zone.
Were you surprised at all with notwithstanding the history between the players that have been traded back and forth between the two clubs, but were you surprised with the chippiness of the game and how it seemed to escalate as the game wore on?
No, not at all. I think there's, and I mentioned it this morning or yesterday, there's I think a dislike between the two clubs, and some of it might have to do with the history of players that played here, players that played in New York. We had some heated games last year, and whenever you have that history and that relationship, it usually, or most nights, can lead to something like that. And I like it. I think the fans like it. I think everybody in hockey likes it. It's just, it elevates the intensity of the game, the emotion of the game.
Todd, the way you've got the lines right now, are you finding that you can ask each of them to do a multitude of different things?
I'm not asking lines to do certain things. I want lines to go out and just play. Trying to find right combinations where maybe they click, but I just want them to go out and play.
I guess that's what I'm getting to. There's a lot of versatility in your players' games right now.
Coach has to trust his players, and you got to put them in situations, and they're going to make mistakes. There's some nights they're going to be good, some nights they aren't going to be as good. But you have to trust them. And what I would like to do is roll 4 lines if we want to play a fast game. And there are some matchups that I do look for at particular times of the game, and there's different things when coming out of power plays or penalty kills and trying to get guys back into the game. But we're at game 2, and we'll get better and better at it. And we got contributions from again all 4 lines.
Coach, how good is it to see a guy like Dano, one of your new guys, really shows no nervousness and gets a goal there?
It's a special moment. Guys playing their first NHL game at home, and it's great to see when these young guys, get their first NHL goal. And it was a big goal for us. So you're always happy when you see the young guys score their first goal, but it makes it even more special when it becomes an important goal.
Were you surprised to see Artie rear back and fire that slapper that he scored on there? We don't see that too often.
Well, the play happened real quick, and Artie was coming from the bench. I didn't even see who made the pass or how the puck got to him, but Artie ripped it, and I had a pretty good line on it. And when it first got to the net, I thought it went in, but there was a little delay, and I thought maybe the goalie had caught it with his glove. But Artie, has shown us in the past he's a guy that can put the puck in the net, whether it's with that shot, because he scored a nice goal in Buffalo too by shooting the puck, but most of his goals are from in close, where he uses his reach and his puck handling ability to beat goaltenders.
Bob's play thus far this season seems to be outstanding. That diving stop that he made to his right tonight, how much momentum did you guys get from that?
I don't know how much momentum we got from it, because again, I thought we got away from our game a little bit in the second period, but obviously it was a huge save, and it was a score 2-1 or 3-1 at the time, and we scored probably a little bit after that. So it turns out being a great save. Was it the save that gave us that momentum, or was it the goal that gave us the momentum? But that was one of those saves where I had a pretty good vantage point from the bench, and he had a lot of net, and Bob made that desperate athletic play that we've seen a lot from him. I think players think that they have him beat, and they don't bear down. And this is not a shot at St. Louis. He's a great player, obviously a goal scorer. I mean, he's one of the best, and it's just one of those plays where Bob makes a great play coming across, and they executed a great play on their end.